Hi, I'm Jonathan J, and welcome to dealmakers.co.uk, the #1 place for business buying information. If you haven't been on our free business buying course yet, then there is a link somewhere at the top of this video. Have you heard people say that you should buy a business for just £1? Well, I think that is terrible advice. On this video, I will tell you exactly why. If you spend some time on the internet, you will find people who will tell you that you should buy a business for £1. Sometimes they go even further than that and say that you should buy a business for £1 that's in a real old state, a distressed business, and don't do any due diligence because you are protected by special purpose vehicles and holding companies. I think that is terrible advice. I think that advice is just so bad that it is going to wreck the hopes and dreams of brand new deal makers. When you buy a business for £1 only, that's the total consideration that you are paying. You are paying only £1 or $1 because you are inheriting the problems that the business has. You are taking over its liabilities. In other words, the seller is handing you the keys and allowing you to take over all of those problems. Now, in theory, there's an opportunity here, isn't there? Because we can buy a business for absolutely nothing. We've got all these problems that we can sort out over time, and then we end up with something of value that we can sell to someone else. Now, that is the theory, but let me tell you the practice. Sorry for interrupting your video, but I wanted to introduce you to a great lawyer in the UK who can get your deals done for you. He's worked for 50 of my mastermind clients in the last few months alone. His name is John Andrews, and I've got his details right here in my little black book of contacts. You can phone him on 0345 241 2494, or you can email him on johnandrews.deallawyer@jmw.co.uk. If you want someone who can get a deal done, he is your guy. So let's get back to the video. So let's imagine the situation that you bought this business for £1, you've taken over the liabilities, but someone's told you it's going to be okay because you can sort all those out, improve the business and sell it in the future. Now, that theory is pretty sound, but in practice, this is exactly what happens. What happens is from day one, you have got creditors knocking on your door. Now, most of us don't want that situation in our lives at all, but imagine people coming at you from all angles. You've got the tax authorities, HMRC, the Inland Revenue, you've got creditors knocking on the door. You've got suppliers who won't supply. They all want money. Why is that situation definitely going to happen? It's definitely going to happen because you just bought the business for £1. So you've got to have very, very broad shoulders. Alternatively, you have to put money in. Now, this is the thing. You thought you were buying the business for nothing, but you are going to pay at some point. You're going to pay with money that you need to put in to keep the business alive. You're going to pay with time. You're going to pay with stress. You're going to pay with energy, and you are going to pay with sleepless nights. And the reason I can say this with great certainty and authority is because I have done it. About 6 or 7 years ago, I bought a group of businesses for £1 from a private equity firm. It was in the digital marketing space, and it was a sizable business turning over about £5 million. And this business had problems coming out of its ears, problems everywhere. And it took me 6 months of very, very hard work to solve all those problems and create a business of value to someone else. But I've been doing this a while. I had a team around me. And for the first time deal maker to take on this stress, I would recommend against it 100%. But what is the solution? I would imagine that you are attracted to the £1, the $1 deal because you haven't got a lot of money to put into buying a business. But there is hope. There is a smarter way of doing this. The worst type of business you could buy for your first acquisition is a distressed business. Let me tell you the perfect business for you to buy. The perfect business for you to buy is a solid, profitable business that is making money day in, day out, despite the owner. So when you take over and the owner leaves, that business still makes that money. And if the business is making $100,000 a year or $200,000 or $500,000 a year, that profit after taxes is all yours. That is the type of business that you want. But the problem is you haven't got any money to buy the business. But there is a solution. The solution is we use some clever financing methods, which means that you can buy the business without utilizing any of your own money. Now, this might mean that your day one payment for the business is still just £1, $1. Now, that's pretty amazing because the financing for the acquisition comes from other people's money. So even though you're not spending any money on the business yourself, the seller of the business is receiving the payment that you have agreed on. What is the result? The result is none of your own money in, and you win because you get a solid, profitable business that pays you from day one. So in summary, if you are a first-time business buyer, the worst business for you to buy is a £1, $1 business where you inherit all of the problems. Don't listen to people who tell you things like that. It's terrible, terrible advice. What you should be doing is buying a solid, profitable business that makes money from day one, where we use other people's money to buy the business. You will thank me forever. If you haven't been on my free business buying training, there is a link somewhere on this video right now. Click on the link, get on the training, and I'll help you buy your first business. If you've enjoyed this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, tap the notifications bell, and I will see you on the next video.